The tide is turning. California Coastal Commission may soon lose to Elon Musk in the ongoing lawsuit regarding its efforts to block SpaceX's rocket launch expansion. From the position of being alone in the fight, now SpaceX has two very powerful allies: the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, and the Space Force. Find out everything in today's Techmap episode. The California Coastal Commission seems to be sure to lose in the battle with SpaceX's CEO Elon Musk. SpaceX's important role in the U.S. rocket industry and Donald Trump's ability to win the race to the White House has forced the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, and the Space Force to reverse their stance to back Elon Musk. For those living under a rock, the U.S. Space Force previously agreed to all of the Commission's demands regarding environmental safeguards and monitoring at Vandenberg for the increased number of SpaceX launches. Among of that is to set up an interagency working group that includes U.S. Fish and Wildlife, the National Marine Fisheries Service, and the Federal Aviation Administration to address concerns as the number of launches increases. This is obviously not good for SpaceX's operation in this place. But on October 18th, we have already seen its new action regarding awarding SpaceX $733.6 million in the form of two National Security Space Launch Phase 3 Lane 1 Launch Service Task Orders. SpaceX and ULA were eligible to compete for those launches, and SpaceX won them all. More importantly, all of these national security launches would take place from Vandenberg, where the California Coastal Commission recently rejected SpaceX's plan to launch 50 missions there. Well, you can understand this as a protectionist move by the Space Force towards SpaceX at Vandenberg. The Space Force will do whatever they damned well please if they're launching national security missions. Elon Musk, on the same day, expressed his commitment to the tasked missions. We look forward to serving the Space Force DoD. Following Space Force, the governor of California also showed his supportive opinion of Elon Musk in the fight against the California Coastal Commission. "I'm with Elon." The Golden State governor, a Democrat, said that in an interview late Thursday after campaigning for Vice President Kamala Harris in the battleground state of North Carolina. "I didn't like that." While commissioners cited Elon's support for former President Donald Trump to attack SpaceX, the Democrat, Gavin Newsom, highly estimated the fairness. "I'm with Elon. I didn't like that. Look, I'm not helping the legal case. You can't introduce that level of politics," Newsom said, signaling support for Musk's lawsuit. He criticized the commission for focusing on Musk's political activities instead of the permit's merits. On Tuesday, October 15th, SpaceX's lawsuit claimed the California Coastal Commission engaged in naked political discrimination during a recent debate on whether to allow SpaceX to increase rocket launches from 36 to 50 at Vandenberg Space Force Base. The lawsuit said commissioners overstepped their limits by considering Musk's political leanings, violating his First Amendment right to free speech in the process. "These are friends of mine, good commissioners, but you've got to call balls and strikes. And trust me, I'm not a big Elon Musk fan right now, but this is about fairness," Newsom added. Friendly reminder that Elon Musk and Gavin Newsom don't have a good relationship in the first place. Both were in the war of words earlier this year when Governor Newsom signed a bill barring teachers from notifying parents that their kids identified as transgender. Musk called it the final straw, forcing him to move X and SpaceX's headquarters from California to Texas. Given Musk's move, the California Democrat governor fired back at Musk, tweeting that he bent the knee to Trump. In addition, Newsom has sparred with Musk on X over a bill the governor signed banning political deepfakes. Musk responded to a measure outlawing AI-generated content before the November election by referring to Newsom as an evil comic character. "The Joker is in charge," Musk wrote on X, repeating the insult in an interview. Commenting on Newsom's change of heart, Elon Musk replied with his grateful, "Well, thanks, I appreciate that the space community is also not less excited." Aw man, Gavin knows now that Kamala has no chance. Preservation instincts kicking in. Gavin desperately needs the jobs and tax dollars this would create. It has nothing to do with fairness. This is Gavin distancing himself from Kamala. Democrat damage control. Gavin sees the writing on the wall. Trump will win and he needs Elon's business. On the other hand, someone showed his doubt. Don't get too excited. There must be some ulterior motive. Can't trust Newscom. So how about you? Do you believe in the sincerity of Governor of California, Gavin Newsom? Feel free to let me and others know in the comments section. Elon Musk's lawsuit, filed on October 15th in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California and posted online by Reuters, names the Coastal Commission and its board members as defendants, alleging that the entity egregiously and unlawfully overreached its authority and engaged in naked political discrimination against Musk. Rarely has a government agency made so clear that it was exceeding its authorized mandate to punish a company for the political views and statements of its largest shareholder and CEO. The lawsuit read in part, SpaceX, through its Space Force and Air Force partners, petitioned the Commission to increase the annual number of permitted Falcon 9 rocket launches from 36 to 50. The Commission, whose authority includes regulating environmental risks to the coastline, on October 10th, thanked the Space Force and Air Force representatives for their efforts, but argued that SpaceX should have been the entity to reach out directly. And then, Commissioner Gretchen Newsom, no relation to Gavin Newsom, read a prepared statement explaining why she was a no vote. Newsom cited a pattern of negligence at SpaceX that has led to hundreds of workplace injuries and a more dangerous workplace as part of her justification. She blasted Musk for relocating business operations from California to Texas due to his bigoted beliefs against California's safeguards and protections of our transgender community. From there, Newsom accused Musk of hopping around the country, spewing and tweeting political falsehoods and attacking FEMA, and defrauding hurricane victims with his offer of allegedly free Starlink satellite service that actually costs $120 a month after 30 days.
We are talking about SpaceX in this, and I will say, and I just want to put it out there, you know, as a person in this process, as was mentioned earlier today, we're an appointed body. There's the politics and policy and science. They mix in these spaces. It's real.
Right now, Elon Musk is hopping about the country, spewing and tweeting political falsehoods and attacking FEMA while claiming his desire to help the hurricane victims with free Starlink access to the internet.
A sick ploy to gain customers who are facing tremendous burdens and dire straits, she said. Incredibly inappropriate. What I post on this platform has nothing to do with a coastal commission in California, SpaceX's CEO wrote. The Coastal Commission has one job: take care of the California coast. It is illegal for them to make decisions based on what they, mostly wrongly, think are my politics. For example, I have done more to advance sustainable energy and help the environment than maybe anyone ever, which is not exactly a far-right position. Yet here they are shamelessly breaking the law. They should resign immediately and face the appropriate legal consequences for their actions, he added. Facing criticism over its initial offer, SpaceX announced on October 12th that it would now provide free Starlink service through the end of the year for both new and existing customers in hurricane-impacted zones. Maybe you don't know that Starlink is a risky game for SpaceX in its wild days, because the satellite network and consumer services could cost $10 billion or more to build out, even more costly to develop than Starship. But the opportunity is there for Starlink to bring in many times the revenue of SpaceX's rocket business. Telecommunications globally is a multi-trillion-dollar market and a growing demand for mobile internet access. It's also more familiar to investors, so there's a degree of attractiveness there and more clearly understandable. So far, SpaceX is close to reaching 4 million customers with its Starlink satellite internet constellation, revealed the firm's president and chief operations officer, Gwynne Shotwell, during a hearing at the Texas House of Representatives in late September. It has been forecasted to be on track to generate a staggering $6.6 billion in revenue for 2024, defying industry skepticism and rewriting the future of satellite internet. The driving force behind the development of Starlink is the Starship project. Also, in speaking before the Texas Appropriations Committee, Shotwell added that her firm invested more than $3 billion over the last few years into developing its facilities in the state for Starship, with just $1 billion in outlays in Texas this past year. Last year, Elon Musk also stated that SpaceX expected to spend around $2 billion on Starship development, probably including $1 billion in Texas. He also added that he did not expect to have to raise funding to finance that that work by investing a huge money into SpaceX's Starship facilities in Texas, called Starbase. SpaceX aims to have a true gateway to Mars. Starbase has now become synonymous with the future of space exploration. The SpaceX executive shared that Starbase is a one-of-a-kind facility to manufacture, test, and launch the most advanced rockets on the planet there. This location was initially selected for its remote location, minimizing potential risks to populated areas in the event of launch mishaps. Additionally, its proximity to the equator allows for more efficient launches, taking advantage of the Earth's rotation to boost the speed of rockets launched from this latitude. The development of Starbase began in earnest in 2014, when SpaceX first broke ground on the Boca Chica launch site. Initially intended as a commercial launch site for Falcon rockets, the vision for the facility shifted significantly in the following years. By 2018, Elon Musk announced that Boca Chica would become the primary site for developing and launching SpaceX's fully reusable Starship and Super Heavy booster system. The brightest star at Starbase is currently Star Factory, a new manufacturing facility, a first-of-its-kind operation that will mass-produce rockets with a speed and efficiency that is far beyond anything the aerospace industry has seen before. According to Elon Musk's goal last year to achieve Mars colonization in roughly 3 decades, we need ship production to be 100 per year, but ideally rising to 300 per year to keep up with the insane production rate of up to 300 giant ships per year. You can imagine how huge size of Star Factory that is equivalent to a Tesla Gigafactory. The building features a square layout, which is shaped so around 244 meters by 244 meters. It stands out with white panels, with black cladding and glass on the front, and extends up to the location of the old tents, original ring yard, and Mega Bay 2. SpaceX plans to leverage advanced manufacturing techniques similar to those developed at Tesla's Gigafactories. These techniques have proven successful in the automotive industry, and SpaceX is betting they can be equally effective in the aerospace sector. The principle here is the machine that builds the machines, and think of the Gigafactory as the motor that keeps Tesla's production running. In addition, can't help but mention the project, the 2 towers that were mentioned by Elon Musk in August. In addition to Starship's first operational tower called Mechazilla, SpaceX has been constructing the second one. The second launch tower completed its stacking in August and comprises 9 segments and stands at an overall height of 145 meters, similar to the first one. However, due to the change of the last 2 sections of the tower, segment 9 becomes much heavier. This contributes to the certainty of the entire system. Elon also believes that Tower B will be robust to 1,000s of landings. With the stacking complete, the tower is still awaiting the installation of the orbital launch mount. And in fact, the delivery of the huge new Starbase Tower 2 launch mount pieces took place in October. In addition to investing in facilities, SpaceX has also invested significantly in the rocket itself. SpaceX's president, Gwynne Shotwell, said, "Starship is capable of launching over 150 metric tons to Earth orbit." Of course, that is Starship's standard payload capacity, and SpaceX is on track to increase that capability by creating the V2 and V3 generations. Shortly after the Starship Flight 2 last November, Elon Musk revealed the first information about Starship's second generation. Version 2 of the ship holds more propellant, reduces dry mass, and improves reliability. Initial assessments suggested that this updated vehicle would feature Raptor version 3 propulsion. 33 Raptors, version 3, each generating roughly 250 tons of force, will power the booster with 8,240 tons of force, whereas the ship's initial thrust is 1,600 tons, equivalent to 6 Raptor 5.3 engines. Raptor 3 promises to deliver more thrust, higher specific impulse, and various other improvements. Starship version 2 will have a height of 124.4 meters, which is slightly taller than V1 by 3.1 meters. However, despite the smaller increase in height, the stretch is more prominently reflected in the ship. An additional 1.8 meters allows for an expanded propellant area, capable of holding an extra 300 tons. On the other hand, booster will experience a slight increase of 1.3 meters, adding 350 tons of propellant. This difference in propellant capacity aligns with the expectation that Super Heavy, as the initial liftoff stage, would require more propellant. Starship version 3 represents a significant leap forward and is perhaps the most emblematic demonstration of Elon Musk's vision for a future Starship that is larger, more advanced, and capable of interstellar travel. This version, as Musk mentioned, is the culmination of thousands of design improvements, some of which are highlighted here. Most notably, Starship version 3 will be larger in size, towering at 150 meters tall, surpassing even the current launch tower in Boca Chica. The ship itself has also undergone significant dimensional enhancements, with a height of 69.8 meters, similar to the total height of the Falcon 9, while the booster stands at 80.2 meters. In perspective, Starship V3 is 28% larger than V1 and 20% more substantial than V2, exceeding Elon's initial expectations. Additionally, Starship version 3's upper stage marks a significant milestone as the first version powered by 9 Raptor V4 engines, featuring a combination of 3 sea-level engines and 6 vacuum engines. This configuration enables the spacecraft to achieve an initial thrust of 2,700 tons, representing a substantial increase in power and capability. Perhaps even more astounding is the boost in thrust for the booster stage, which is poised to reach a new record of 10,000 tons of force. This extraordinary feat is made possible by a total of 33 Raptor 4 engines, each boasting an impressive thrust of 303 tons. The astonishing benefit of Starship's immense size is that it makes SpaceX's dream of delivering more than 99% of its mass into orbit a reality, as Elon said on October 7th. Once Starship is flying regularly, SpaceX will deliver over 99% of mass to orbit, unless some other company creates a large, fully reusable rocket. Furthermore, it would expand SpaceX's capability for rideshare missions, when rockets carry additional satellites with their primary payload. Starship would have enough extra space for the secondary payloads to pay for the launch, effectively subsidizing launches of the company's own Starlink satellites. Beyond carrying cargo, SpaceX plans to use Starship to carry people into orbit and even to the surface of the Moon and Mars. While a flight to orbit on SpaceX's Crew Dragon capsule costs upwards of $200 million for 4 passengers, Starship would unlock incredible opportunities. According to experts, because it's reusable, you could imagine trips around the Moon in the $100,000 range. This would pave the way for the wave of commercial human tourism market in space, where human spaceflights have historically been almost entirely driven by government budgets. There's also potentially the market associated with human spaceflight, which has historically been almost entirely driven by government budgets. Carissa Christensen, CEO of Bryce Space and Technology, said, "There's a commercial human tourism market in space, and we're just seeing the beginnings of that." Overall, Christensen believes Musk has brought a Silicon Valley mindset to an industry that was dominated by defense-focused government contractors for decades. Taking on multiple extraordinary ambitious projects at once is very well aligned with a company identity of transforming not just an industry, but arguably transforming the world, Christensen said. And that just about wraps it up for today's episode. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you next time.